My name is Aduluchukwu.
I am Ijoma Uche. Welcome.
And we'll be talking this morning about glaucoma awareness, uniting for a future without blindness, in commemoration of the 2025 World Glaucoma Week, which happens to be from the 9th of March to the 15th of March every year. Well, by the virtue of me using spectacles, I hope glaucoma is far from me. But then we have our guests in the studio. These are specialists, and they will tell us what we need to know about the glaucoma and then their preparations and plans for this week, our World Glaucoma Week. In the studio, we have Dr. Chioma Ezeonyeka, who is a High Health Desk Officer, Ministry of Health, Anambra State. Good morning, Dr. Chioma.
My job is Dr. Chioma. Okay, Dr. Chioma, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And we also have Dr. Anita Onweteka, member Nigerian Optometric Association, Anambra State. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
The sight is one of the best gifts you can talk about when you're talking about your five senses. I don't think any person would want to lose either of the five senses, but then most people will tell you that the sight is the most treasured of them all. And I remembered when I started using glasses, I didn't like the fact because I didn't need anything to aid me in reading, because my glasses are mainly for reading, not for any other thing. But at the same time, when you hear people talk about glaucoma losing their sight, and then glaucoma is something that if not properly taken care of or if not detected early could make you lose your sight. And let's begin with what is glaucoma before we begin to talk about the awareness and then what you guys have for us this week, talking about the World Glaucoma Week. Let me begin with Dr. Anita.
All right, thank you so much. Glaucoma, like we all know, or we hear about, it's known to be the silent thief of sight. That's the common acronym people use for it. But then, beyond that, it's paramount that everybody understands what glaucoma is. Medically, we term glaucoma to be a group of progressive optic neuropathy, a group of progressive optic neuropathy that is commonly associated with damage to the optic nerve. Of course, these are big terms, right? And we need to understand that there's something we call the optic nerve, where visual sensations come in from the eyes to the brain. So for you to be able to see clearly, there should be sensitivity at the optic nerve. So when we talk about glaucoma, it means that there is damage around this optic nerve. And oftentimes, glaucoma is associated with what we commonly know as intraocular pressure, IOP. We say when there is high IOP, one is tend to have glaucoma. So most times, glaucoma comes with a triad. So we are talking about optic nerve damage, we're talking about high intraocular pressure, and we're talking about visual field, peripheral visual field. Peripheral visual field means that you're supposed to look at, when you're looking at an object at the center, beside it, you're supposed to see for a normal person. But when one has glaucoma, the person tends to have limitation from their peripheral. So at the end stage of glaucoma, you notice that the person cannot see peripherally. They only see, we call it tunnel vision. They see centrally in their vision. So this is why we are here advocating and sensitizing the public on the need for early screening. Thank you very much.
Yeah, before you go, Anita, let me ask this in. Does glaucoma have anything to do with, is it age related?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, actually, study carried out by, a report carried out by WHO. It is known that over 50% of the data we have on glaucoma are actually age-related. We have these data that saying that persons from 40 years and above tend to have glaucoma. And that's why we always say that early screening is important. So when persons know that when you are 40, there are a lot of susceptibility that you will have to a lot of diseases, which glaucoma is part of it. The need to come for screening is very important.
Is it genetic
Okay.
too?
Is it what?
Genetic.
Yes, it is. When we are tracing glaucoma, we would say during the case history, of course, between you and your doctor, you'll be asked, does it run in the family? Because there are tendency for it to be inherited. Let's assume your mother has it, there's tendency that your son might have it. So actually, it's very, very genetic.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Anita. And now, let's look at the background of this disease called glaucoma. Doc, what could lead to one having glaucoma?
Thank you so much. This disease, glaucoma, what could lead to that is, as my colleague said, if there is an increase in intraocular pressure of the eye, thereby it will damage the optic nerve at the back of the eye.
How does it increase?
By the building up of, actually, there is a mechanism, drainage mechanism of where the eye fluid do drain from the eyes. But if there is any impairment in those drainage system, there will be a clog, a build-up of the fluid that is meant to flow out from the eyes.
This fluid you're talking about, are you talking about tears?
Is intraocular fluid.
Okay, not tears.
No.
Okay.
So just to add to what she said, just to put it in a layman's term, there's a socket, right, and the external part of the eyes. We call it aqueous humor.
That's the eye socket.
Yes. What that aqueous humor does is to keep the eyes balanced, right, for it to be functioning, protect it from slacking, sinking, or being informed. So when there is, we'll say, high intraocular pressure, we mean that the production of this fluid is supposed to be equal to the drainage of this fluid.
Wait, this fluid, I'm a bit confused here.
Okay.
This fluid, is it the same fluid that wets our eye, that makes it glossy, or is there another fluid that I don't know?
No. It's the one that makes your eyes lubricated, it's the tear film. We talk about the tear, right? Mm-hmm. But that of aqueous humor is internal.
Okay. It's not what...
Yes.
External.
Yes.
It's a kind of a lubricant.
No, when I mean internal, we have two. There's one we call the superficial internal and the internal, the posterior, right? So when it's produced at the external, it's supposed to go through a canal that goes outside. That's internal now, the posterior part of it. So there is a pressure that keeps it. When the pressure is high, it means that the production does not equate.
What could make the pressure high? That's what I asked Chioma. What could make that pressure high that will affect the production of that fluid?
Well, like we talked about being genetic, generally there is nothing that has been said that makes pressure high, but there are things that are said that could trigger it. For example, lifestyle. We see some persons taking a lot of caffeine, for example, or taking steroids, right? Self-prescribed steroids. So when take this, the interactions affect the eyes, and this could boost a lot of secretion of this aqueous humor. So when it's been boosted, drainage does not equate the production. The pressure becomes very high. That's the scenario.
Okay, thank you very much. And I asked, apart from this glaucoma being genetic or being caused by this kind of pressure you're talking about, don't mind me, this is your area. So are there other things that could cause glaucoma?
Yes.
What are they?
Okay. Someone that has some refractive errors, like a myopic patient, is predisposed to glaucoma.
Like I am now?
Yes.
But I will not have glaucoma.
That's the need for someone to always have a routine eye check.
Okay.
So it's not only that, as we already said, family history could lead to that. Someone that it runs in that their parents either had glaucoma, it could occur. Mm-hmm. Then there are also other things, some medical conditions. Someone that is diabetic is likely to, diabetic or hypertensive.
That's where I'm going, because I know I've heard that one before.
And in a case of eye trauma, it could lead to that.
Which one is eye trauma again?
If there is any trauma to the eye, an eye injury, a forceful hit on the eye, it could lead to increase in ocular pressure, which we know that it damages the optic nerves. And any optic nerve that is damaged, it cannot be restored. And it will lead to loss of vision.
Is it instant? Is it instant? Is the loss of, will this loss of vision be instant?
No, it's gradual. Okay, yes, it will be sudden because it's as a result of the trauma.
Okay, what if as a result of diseases like diabetes, like hypertension, how does it close? Is it like how long is it going to take for the eyes to shut down finally?
Actually, it takes time. It progresses. If in that case, it progresses. It's in trauma that it will just occur instantly. Yes. And it damages the optic nerve, thereby leading to loss of vision. Instantly, and it will occur with pain.
With pains?
Yes, pains.
So people that suffer glaucoma have pains in their eyes?
No. I mean in that traumatic aspect of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to say
It's asymptomatic.
I was thinking, well, my question is, let me direct it to Anita this time around. Anita, can one from glaucoma now get to having other eye issues, or can having other eye issues result in you having glaucoma?
Well,
like I'm using glasses now, which is issue, you understand?
You are myopic.
You understand? I wasn't born using glasses. So now, by the fact that I'm using glasses now, which is just to read anyway, if I'm not reading, I'll take off the glass. I walk without glasses. I drive without glasses. I do virtually everything. I only use it to read. Now, am I predisposed to having glaucoma just because I have a visual defect?
Are you scared?
I just want to know.
all right. So, talking about being predisposed to glaucoma because of other eye problem. Yeah, like when Dr. Choma was saying about having uncorrected refractive error could lead to glaucoma. Let's remember why we use glasses, right? There are cases where we have myopia, and we have hyperopia, and we have astigmatism. These are the major cases where we use glasses.
Can you break them down? When you have myopia?
Okay.
When you have
when we're talking about myopia, we're talking about short-sightedness, right? The ability for you to see near and you don't see far, right? Vice versa on the hyperopia. You see far, you don't see near. Astigmatism, you have double vision. The light going straight comes bent and you see double vision. Then in this case, when you have it for a very long time, you know, most times, should I use the word Africans, we have a lot of factors that makes us not go for screening, right? Which is the most common is cost. So most times...
Poverty.
Yes, cost. So, and you see them start managing. Some of them will say, as simple as presbyopia, that is inability to read because of age. Right? You see them going to different herbal solutions, or should I say odd places to get help. By the time they expose their eyes to this different remedy before visiting, these are things that could actually must have spiked the pressure before coming for that consultation. So yes, if you have refractive errors uncorrected for a very long time, especially myopias, because it stretches the muscles of the eyes, right? And of course, like I said, when we're talking about how this aqueous, the fluid that causes the high intraocular pressure, if this stretch continues, it can spike the intraocular pressure, which now causes the damage in the eyes. So yes, not correcting your eyes or not visiting could actually cause you to have glaucoma.
When you say correction, what do you mean?
Oh, okay. For the glasses, you mean? Right? Okay. Most times we would say glasses are corrective lenses, right? But actually they are compensating lenses. They do not correct, they treat. Yes.
When you treat, you have not corrected.
Well, it will make it not to get worse.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is that the moment you start using glasses, you use it forever.
That is not the case. We've had issues where, especially for young persons, children, for example, where we see that from birth we tend to be hyperopic, right? Medically now. So over time, you see them coming and they start having symptoms of hyperopia. We treat them because they grow, because they are developmental. At some point in life, they might not use it.
You treat them with correctional lenses? Or
yes. We call lenses corrective because it's a treatment. It's a treatment therapy. Do you understand it? So seeing that, and most times refractive error does not go away. So what those lenses does is, if you do not treat, those stretching keeps going, and it will cause complications, just like we are talking about, it leading to issues like glaucoma and other issues in the eyes. But then, if you treat it at the time, with your glasses, you put on your glasses, it will hurt every other complication that might arise due to this refractive error.
Now, still talking about this issue of glasses and glaucoma and the rest of it. I remember when I started using my glasses, I was having a day when I use it for a period of time for long. Maybe I read for long. So I took it back to the clinic where I was giving the glasses. And in fact, when I was being examined, I said, is there any possibility that I will stop using glasses anytime? The young man said no.
Yes.
That is not possible. That the moment I start using, mine is as a result of age, that my nerves are getting weak and the rest of it all.
At what age?
But I've seen people that were using glasses before, all of this, older than me, and they no longer use glasses. And I asked them what happened. They said they took supplement and it corrected it. So confusing, the same optometry students or practitioners will tell you this. Another one is coming to counter it. Please, can you clarify us on this?
Okay, I think it's would I say a misconception that arises using glasses and saying that at some point, first of all, you need to understand your condition. So when you are seeing your doctor, it's very paramount that your doctor explains what is wrong with you for you to have a good understanding. Now, you say you use glasses because mainly for reading, yeah? And we know that persons who use glasses for reading are presbyopes. What is presbyopia? Right? Inability for you to read at near because of age. Right? And it's expected that from early 35 and above, you start having presbyopia, which is a normal phenomenon, right? So as you are aging, the structures or the muscles that makes you accommodate hardens, right? So your ability to look from far to near becomes stiffened. So when you try to look at near, it becomes an issue. So for you to be able to look, relaxing the muscles, you need to use your glasses. Do you understand it?
Glasses are there, no other thing.
No,
you use to
because it's a normal thing. You are growing, you are aging beautifully.
No other thing.
No.
No, but let me give you my own example. Before,
Okay.
I couldn't read what is very close to me. I could not read anything very close to me. So I went to the eye clinic and they gave me the spec and I used it for about a year plus. I couldn't see with it again. I went back and they asked me to, the normal check. Can you see this? Can you do that? And I keep checking until I discovered that I can read pocket Bible with my bare eyes.
Okay.
Somebody hit her to that couldn't read bold lines before. It corrected.
Well, that's temporarily. That's temporarily.
Temporarily.
Yes.
But this has happened over 10 years now.
Without your glasses?
I'm telling you.
But you're using glasses.
No, now lately I became myopic that I cannot see what is far now. Before I can't see what is close, but now I cannot see what is very far very clearly. That's why I started using this one. You wanted to say something, Chama?
I wanted to say that it depends on myopic sheet. There are some people, myopes. You maybe wonder why some people, if you see them, they will not be using glasses to read. They are myopes. So looking at your mate that is not using glasses to read, it could be that the person is myopic. So it could be your case. Yes, that you're myopic, you could read with your bare eyes.
Because myopes read better with their eyes.
But I can't read my news with my bare eyes.
That's myopia. Remember when I was defining what myopia is, I said inability for you to see far, but you can't see near.
Yes.
Right. So,
okay, I actually wanted to see the difference. That's the correction we stopped at this one jumped in, but that's okay. Let's keep moving. As you are preparing for your week, tell us, what do we expect?
Okay. It starts with public awareness. That's why we are here. And today, from the Nigeria Optometry Association, we are employing the public to take their eyes glaucoma screening seriously, because it is one of the major cause of irreversible cause of blindness in the world today. Actually, we have over 80 million persons suffering the diseases worldwide. And when we come down to Nigeria, we are having a data around 5.02%. So it's telling us that about 1.2 million persons actually living with these diseases. And the funny thing is that 50% of these glaucoma patients are undiagnosed. So, so you see, a lot of work needs to be done. And these data we are talking about, you say we have more of it in the southern part, the eastern part. And this is because a it's easy to get data within this region, unlike the north, where we have limited eye care professionals. So coming to the studio this morning is to talk to us about glaucoma generally and the need for collaboration among eye care professionals, governments, NGOs, international organizations coming together to fight this menace of a disease.
Who are the eye care professionals?
Okay, when we talk about eye care professionals, we're talking about the optometrists, ophthalmologists, ophthalmic nurses, and other sister professions that we could manage.
I wouldn't want to ask you the difference in all these ones that you're mentioning, because all of us, I mean, what to call all of you is eye doctors or whatever. So there are ones that are in charge of glasses. I know those ones.
Yeah.
So they cannot diagnose me. You diagnose, they give me glasses. Is that what you mean? So
Opticians.
she just went to school to read how to give people glasses. Is that what do you mean?
Sorry, come again.
You mean opticians?
I don't know which is which. You know them better. You know, I just know the different classes of people that look after our eyes. That's how I look at them. Choma.
Okay.
Ophthalmologists are the eye surgeons.
Okay.
Okay, so but the optometrists, they treat minor ocular infections, give glasses, contact lenses. If it's the one that is beyond their scope that leads to surgery, they will refer to ophthalmologists for surgical aspect of it. Like in this glaucoma, an optometrist can actually diagnose glaucoma. So that's why we are advised people to routinely have an eye check with their optometrist. Yes.
You said if it's a complicated one, you will refer to the surgeon. So how do you treat this?
There are some scopes.
Can you correct glaucoma through surgery?
No.
So
You manage it. Glaucoma is not treated, you manage it.
So no treatment for
No treatment for glaucoma, you manage it. And they have different stages of the treatment. The first one, you initiate by giving eye drops. If it is not working, you go to laser. After that, if it's not working, that's when you would think of referring the patient to ophthalmologist for surgery. Yes.
For surgery, so what is surgery going to do for the person?
Yes, at that surgery, you know that we said glaucoma is as a result of lens, as in fluid build-up in the eye, thereby damaging the optic nerves of the eye that could lead to visual loss. So the mechanism where there is a drainage of the fluid, if there is a clog of it, that's when the ophthalmologist will come in to open the drainage for it to be at the outflow of the fluid to be normal.
To be normal when it gets normal.
That will not take away that white coloration.
Which white coloration?
Look at the screen.
This is
No, this is not.
this is cataract.
Cataract.
I had wanted to ask you, Anita, the difference between glaucoma and cataract.
Okay, so when we're talking about cataract, we're talking about opacification of the lens. Okay, let me use a very, like we saw in the picture, we could see the white closure there. It's telling us there is a gathering of, a covering on the lens, right?
Is it fluid again?
We won't call it fluid, we'll call it accumulation of fat.
Oh.
Fatty deposit or something. But then, but when we're talking about glaucoma, we are talking about the inner structures. Like when I was describing or defining glaucoma, we said it's a group of diseases and that cause a group of progressive optic neuropathy, damage to the optic nerve head, caused by mostly associated with intraocular pressure. So in glaucoma management, we have different types of glaucoma actually. We have the primary open angle and the closed angles. Yes. So, and each of these comes with their symptoms, for example. And the one that is very common, that we tell that most persons do not know until they are being screened or diagnosed, is the primary open angle. But that of the closed angle, which is quite disturbing because the person will start having pain, blurry vision, halos around lights, severe nausea and vomiting.
One out of these symptoms, or the person will be having all these symptoms at the same time.
All of it for
Really?
the closed angle, yes. So this is where the ophthalmologist comes in for primary closed angle glaucoma, that you immediately have to refer for surgical intervention. What do we mean? You know, we're talking about fluid, accumulation of fluid, not flowing the way it ought to. So the ophthalmologist will have to carry out procedure just to open up, like my colleague said, open up the the Juliet system so that this fluid could easily pass, maintaining the pressure or bringing crashing down the IOP, right? So generally, if we do not understand what this type of glaucoma, the types of glaucoma that you have, treating it or understanding your treatment modalities might not be very effective for you.
Okay, treatment. But you guys have just broken our heart by telling us there's nothing to do about it, that you have glaucoma, you are eventually going to go blind. And I have asked before, how long does it take for glaucoma to shut one's vision completely?
Well, because it's a chronic issue, it takes, like we said, progressively. It starts by early detection, right?
Now, when you eventually detect it and you are treating it, is it going to, is the treatment going to slow the movement to blindness?
Yes, that's why we are talking about early detection. When you detect the diseases early, you see the progression will reduce. For someone that, if not treated on time, might go blind, let's say in 50 years, with your treatment, it could take up to 80.
Really?
Yes.
Now, talking about glaucoma and then other defects of the eye, is there a way, since there's no cure, is there a way, dieting, what can we do in order to, take it far from us? Can we take that, can we, eat food that will help prevent it from happening, or what can we just do in general?
Yeah,
any
Chama.
idea?
Yes.
Dr. Chama?
Actually, eating right, it helps our eyes to function optimally. So, in that glaucoma aspect of it, someone needs more of fruits and vegetables, especially all these oranges, peaches. But there are some saturated fatty foods. They are not meant for glaucoma patients. Not only glaucoma, everyone needs to abstain from it because it could lead to glaucoma.
What and what are they?
Fried foods. Yes.
Every fried food, even akara.
Oil, yes, it's not good to the health generally.
You know
And
they
it could
buy
affect
akara come
eye
next
that
time.
lead to vision loss. This glaucoma aspect of it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, all fried food. What about carbohydrates and the rest of them?
Yes.
They're all there. We want to look at our lifestyle to ensure that we don't get glaucoma that will lead to you going to hospital or you going blind at the end of the day. What about supplements? Some people, Anita, some people place themselves on supplements to avoid them.
Yes, a supplement is very important. Just like Dr. Choma was talking about eating right? When we say eat right, we mean balanced diet, right? We cannot say do not eat anything. The moderation at which you eat everything matters a lot, right? Supplements on its own is good because we call them antioxidants. And what they do is they help augment those deficiencies in not eating right most times. So, when we talk about eating right, we all understand how the economy eats. Some persons might be able to afford eating right, while most persons could not afford eating right, coming from this aspect. So when you come to your doctor, we always add supplement because we know that, we understand that most times following the eating right might not be there. So the supplement comes in just like
We want to go for street walk, and when we come back, we'll continue the discussion. Don't go anywhere. The show continues.
Just as I earlier said, it is very good for every human being, not only eye, general body checkup, because of the kind of food we eat now.
People should go for eye checkups as often as they can. Probably once in every month, or even if it's possible, on weekly basis, once in 2 weeks or once in every week, because the eye is very sensitive. So you don't have to joke with it. because whatever affects the eye has directly or indirectly affected the whole body. So I advise that people should go on eye checkup as often as they can afford it. Creating of awareness, I think the media houses has a lot of work to do. Day-to-day sensitization, door-to-door, educating people, going to churches, schools, and marketplaces, and wherever you can find a group of people. I think it will go a long way to help them know what glaucoma is all about, and then know how they can prevent it or even treat it when it occurs.
One suppose to go out for his body checkup, eye checkup, before general checkup every 2 months. And that is what I believe that is good, because when you do that, you know the sound of your body, your health condition, and that will prevent you from having contacting any sickness or any issues. And had it been I do go for checkup as usual, I wouldn't have been having this eye issue, and that is where I'm going to now. If you see now, you can see me with my glass. So it has generated to a certain problem now that I'm paying almost, I've spent almost 500,000 now in this eye. But had it been I went for earlier checkup, I would have been spending about 20 or 30 or 40,000. So I believe with that, people should go for eye checkup, not only eye, but the general body checkup 2 times in a month.
Based on my own personal observation, I think they should actually go for checkup, or rather 2 to 3 times in a month. I mean, go for regular checkups, at least to be much better to be able to easily detect this particular illness on time, so that it don't get worse for them. Then the awareness part, well, you can actually go through social media, post online, maybe visit marketplaces, go to hospitals, and also to be able to create more awareness to people about this particular ailment or illness called glaucoma.
About television, there's no light in Nigeria, so many will not afford it. We don't have electricity, so let's use these town criers and create awareness to the grassroots about the importance of eye checkup. That will help a lot.
We've heard from our street parliamentarians talking about the need for early checkup in order to, avoid or forestall having glaucoma or any eye issues. Before we went on break, you were talking about abstaining from eating fried food and the rest of it all. What of the women that fry their akara, that expose their eyes to the smoke that comes out of that fire that they make, in frying akara? Isn't that going to be hampering or damaging their eyes maybe later on in the future? Because some of them do tear up when they are frying akara and the rest of it all. Is that not hazardous to their eyes, Dr. Choma?
It is actually, that one it is, but it could not lead to this glaucoma stuff. Okay. Where we are driving it in is towards glaucoma. But frying akara, the smoke from it will still affect the eyes. It could lead to allergic conjunctivitis, whereby at a point the person will start having itchings and other things that will be damaging the eyes.
Okay, for younger people that are watching us, okay, not just younger people that are yet not using glasses. We want you to tell us exactly why 2 of you are not on any glasses, because you know what to do.
Well, it's not about the glasses; it's about the need for it. Right?
You don't have need for it. That's why you're not wearing it.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So
what did you do? What are you doing?
Okay, like we're trying to say, we are not preachers of what we don't do. We talked about eating right. We talked about, when we're talking about lifestyle, remember I was talking about, Dr. Choma talked about eating right. Then drugs that we take. Remember self-medication, we keep talking about avoiding self-medications. You see so many persons, our youth per se, doing fitness, and they have to augment their fitness with a lot of steroids. And we know that as professionals, we know that steroid could induce intraocular pressure, right? And if, hence where we are coming here to say today that this lifestyle that people do not understand, please eat right, right? Avoid caffeines, avoid taking self-medication, especially steroids. Then check your body pressure very well. If you are diabetic, go for treatment. Then we cannot say we not wearing glasses does not make us different from those wearing glasses, because nobody prays to be sick, right? So, yeah.
So, Chama, why are you not wearing glasses? Why are you not having eye issues? So let me start from there. Do you have any eye issue?
Actually, at present, I don't have any eye issues. I could see far and near, but I know that I'm not far from it. As an image troop, I've even started noticing it because someone that is above 35, the presbyopic will come in. The person will see the need to be using reading glasses to see whatever he or she wants to
the eyes.
Yes. Then in this note now, very soon I know that I will join in. I know actually, and I've started experiencing it.
It feels good though, being on glasses.
Feels good. I don't even pray for that. As my patient rightly, they will say that they don't like the glasses.
Let me say, what's the difference between contact lenses and glasses? Which is better for visual aid? Which is easier to manage?
Okay, contact lenses, it's just different materials, right? They do both work. Just like your corrective, your eyeglasses does the same work with the contact lens, just the material. They are just soft gel made with combinations of soft materials, right? And because of the need, you know, like we have preferences. Because of the need, that person say, like you that is saying you don't want glasses, you don't like wearing it. Yes, we could say, okay, go for contact lenses, because that stereotype of, oh, you use glasses, your eyes are not, you have bad eyes. So many persons do not want that.
And you're drugging, man.
Exactly. So many persons will not want that, especially those in the trends, in the fashion world. They will say, oh, I don't feel comfortable, doctor, using my glasses. I would want to go for contact lens. So what we do is we transpose your prescription into the contact lens material, then you can use it. So they are both the same thing. There is no difference at all.
Okay. Now, back to why we're here. It's to create awareness, uniting for a future without blindness, in commemoration of the 2025 World Glaucoma Week that starts 9th of this month and ends 15th of this month, 2025. As we get set to go, let me give you a platform to exactly market yourself and tell us exactly why you are here and what we need to do to make sure that we have good sites. Yeah, Chum, I'm starting with you.
Okay. In a bit to celebrate as a commemoration of this World Sight Day, this 2025, the Nigerian Optometric Association, as my colleague said, they are calling on government, stakeholders and NGOs to assist financially for people to be able to attend to their eye health by subsidizing the rate of eye care services. Then we are also creating awareness for people to know and see the need for them to always go for a routine eye check. In bid to do that, that's why we are here first. Then secondary, we are advising people to always visit eye clinic, nearby eye clinic, because this glaucoma, you cannot know is asymptomatic. The primary open angle glaucoma is asymptomatic before the patient could know what is going on.
Half of the eyes is gone.
It's gone. It has already gotten to the advanced stage. So the prompt visit to the eye clinic, that's why we are advocating, and for the government to come in to subsidize the rate of it being assessed.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Anita, anything on ground? What are you commemorating the year glaucoma days with? Did you come here with some specs, glasses for us? Are you going to run tests? Anything. What is
Okay,
on ground for this?
there are a lot of things on ground.
1 minute before you go on, please, because Chema talked about subsidizing eye care. Is the state health insurance, is eye problem, is it captured in it?
Well, it's part of the awareness.
Okay, so
yes.
Let's talk about it.
Just to add to what Dr. Chema said, there's need for mandatory glaucoma screening in every primary health care. And this is one place that we are soliciting that the national health policies comes in, the funding, very important. Because we see that most of the time, those drugs are very expensive and they are not actually captured in the NHIS scheme because of the cost of this medication. And hence, while we are here soliciting that the government needs to come in and do a lot on this, then yes, we have a lot going on in the sense that most clinics are partnering with the association, giving subsidized screening within this period of celebration, or rather commemoration.
No free screening?
Well, there is free screening organized at the Ministry of Health.
When?
On Friday.
Okay,
so you could find your way there, but that will not do a whole lot to what we are talking about. We are talking about eradicating this menace of a disease. So we need to partner with a lot of NGOs, governments, like we talked about. Then there is need to talk about pharmaceuticals, right? Encouraging the production of these drugs, local drugs within us, because it's the cost of production that makes these drugs unaffordable to persons. So we are employing that our professionals, our sister professionals like the pharmaceuticals, so think of getting funding to make this drug cheaper. Then generally, I would say that glaucoma is, as the silent thief of time, it's not the end of everything. It's not the end of your vision, but there's remedy. The remedy is you walking into the clinic or to the hospital or to the nearest eye care center to ascertain this. And two, just to emphasize on the government's needs on this, please, government should look into this, because there is need to have a glaucoma screening center across all the states in Nigeria. Right, because without doing this, people will not understand how much, except those already in the system, except those already diagnosed of the diseases. They will tell you that all of my life savings, because of their, most of them are geriatric, what we mean by elderly persons, they will come and tell you that most of their life savings has gone to the treatment of this. So when we have a subsidized screening centers for these diseases, you will see that the cost of screening do not become issue, because most times just to do the screening alone can take a whole lot of, then you come to the medication that are involved in treating these issues. And two, there's need for subsidized surgery. So a lot of funding needs to be in place. So we are employing the state government, the states and the national government to come into the aid. Then we are talking about international. They should encourage research in this field. Just like we were giving data, we realized that they said most of the data we are getting, we said they are more in the southern part. The northern part, they have a lot of glaucoma cases, but because they are limited research on grant, so we are soliciting for grants, fellowships, and a lot of research to enable us to fight this whole thing and get the reliable data needed.
Okay. Thank you very much. I hope you have put this thing down and present it to the appropriate quarters. All right. Okay? Thank you. AJ.
Well, thank you so much. I want to use the opportunity to really appreciate your coming here. Dr. Chioma Ezunyeka, Eye Health Desk Officer, Ministry of Health, Anambra State. And Dr. Anita Onweteka, member, Nigerian Optometric Association, Anambra State Chapter. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, docs.